We'll have a moment of silent meditation and pledge to the flag. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I call this meeting to order. All three county commissioners are here. But before we go to consent and approval, we have actually a proclamation that we have a special person here who has given 51 years of service to Monongalia. Kathy, you want to come on down? Kathy, come on down. And if you want, and the others want to come down too.
Want Donna to read the proclamation?
Yeah, that's what it's going to be when she's in front.
Okay.
Okay. Certificate of Appreciation for 51 years of service, presented to Kathy Gallagher, in recognition of your dedicated service to the citizens of Monongalia County, June 28, 2023. And I'd like to put on it, wow, because that is, thank you so much. And are you interested at all in saying anything? I know you're a quiet person.
I am.
We'll come down, we'll get a picture with you.
Donna, you want to bring your staff down? We'll get a picture of everybody.
Yeah, we'll get everyone. 51 years.
That's awesome.
Come on down. Yeah, we'd like to know.
I know.
Colleen, you want to take your camera, Donna?
Yes.
Take it for-
Come on, we'll get you all in.
Squeeze it.
Nope.
Probably. Probably put her on the table.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations. You, honestly, you will love retirement. It just, the pressure's off now. You can do all the things you wanted to do. And if you don't like it, you just get over it.
Tom's retired too. Commissioner Bloom, I need you to back off that a little bit. I'm still trying to.
Oh, you're still, okay. Well, we'll be using this consultant, right, correct?
Thank you.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Moving on, consents and approval. County Administrator, good morning.
Morning. There are no exonerations. Minutes for June 22nd, 2023. Vouchers, General County Fund, $213,785.08. 911, $577.04. Chestnut Ridge Park, $14,564.28. Camp Muffley, $28,082.76. Mason-Dixon Park, $380.64. Payroll, $1,020,290.47. ARPA, $68,682.71. Purchasing card vouchers, General County Fund, $20,860.04. 911, $438.88. Home confinement, $134. Chestnut Ridge Park, $448.85. Camp Muffley, $427.04. Mon County Center, $258 for a voucher total of $1,372,929.79. We have position vacancies for boards and authorities listed on our website, and we have the budget revision that was approved on June 14th. If you want to.
Yeah, last week we had the budget revisions were due by the 15th.
Correct.
Of the month. We had sent one through where we increased the Convention and Visitor Bureau revenue by $800,000.
80,000.
I'm sorry, 80,000. And when the assessor's office, or the auditor's office got that, they immediately expected to see a $40,000 expense to Convention and Visitors Bureau, because 50% of those dollars are supposed to go to them, and a $40,000 expense to parks. That wasn't necessary, but I didn't have any of the documentation behind me, so I agreed to the changes that they were suggesting, because we can always just we'll figure out how to go forward. But to approve the budget revisions, they needed those changes. So I talked directly to Tanya from the clerk's office because she called me and told her to send me an email, and I'd go ahead and the context of what needed to be changed, and she did so, and then I approved that and told them I'd bring it up at this meeting. So just wanted to make sure that we made that slight revision to the previous budget change.
And we'll put that,
In the record.
that notice from the auditor's office in the record so that
Okay.
there's, yeah.
Does it need a motion since,
Well, this is
So-
going to be part of consent.
just
so-
before the consent?
yeah.
Okay.
So we also have fiduciary orders for June 28th, 2023, and then I have one other item.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Properly moved second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
The clerk's office has asked if you all would set the next date for administrative closing of estates, and they've selected September 20th, 2023. I looked at your schedule for September, and there doesn't seem to be any other conflicts with that. So if you all are agreeable, September 20th, 2023.
Move to approve setting the date as presented.
Second.
properly moved second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we've done that.
Yep, that's it then.
Okay, introduction of new employees, assessor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Patrick Tinning with the Assessor's Office. Everybody should have a letter in front of them. I'm here to seek approval for hiring of Mr. Trevor Bennett as a real estate deputy. He'll be replacing Sean Schmidl, who moved into our appraisal, who's moving into our appraisal department. Mr. Bennett will start July 3rd, full-time position with benefit eligibility and a 90-day probationary period.
Move to approve the position as presented.
Second.
Properly moved second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Thanks, Patrick.
We have Brian Fraley, Chestnut Ridge Park, Night Ranger, seasonal part-time.
His start date is June 29th, and his pay rate will be $12 an hour.
Move to approve the position as presented.
Second.
Properly moved second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, do we have any more new employees?
Not that I'm aware of, sir.
Okay. Comments from the public. When I open it up, you have, please come down in front of the mic, state your name, your address, and you have 3 to 4 minutes to talk with us. Be my guest. Who would like to come down first? Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Derek Jackson. I live at 792 Alpine Street. It's in the North Hills neighborhood of Morgantown over near Mon General. Coming to see you guys today. We desperately need some help with our road. It is impassable in the winter. Stu Godwin, emergency doctor at WV Medicine, was able to be here, asked me to share. He said the state that the road's in wintertime, it is impassable for an emergency vehicle to get down that road. I've witnessed accidents. The road cannot be treated because of the current state that it's in. I've out of pocket spent money on an engineering report as far as a plan to get the road fixed, to reroute the water down to where it would not create a hazard for anybody else. I have shared that with the commission, and we need help. The road has only gotten it's only gotten worse and continues to do so. And without some assistance from the commission, there's no way we were going to be able to get that road resolved, and it will just continue to deteriorate. As it stands, certain vehicles can't pass through at any time of the year, but in the winter, it's virtually impassable by any vehicle. When we get, regardless, four-wheel drive, truck, car, it doesn't matter. I've gotten some commitment from the residents on the road to be able to provide some funds toward the project, but what we're able to raise is really a drop in the bucket compared to what we need to get this fixed properly.
Okay.
Questions?
We're not allowed to respond.
Okay.
No.
This is my first time.
At the end, then we can respond.
Okay, this is my first time coming to one of these.
Yeah,
So.
thank you, Derek,
All
for
right.
coming. It's generally our policy not to respond
We can.
to public comment.
Okay.
Unless any of the commissioners want to waive the rules.
I don't see any, we can. If Tom has something to say, I'll move to waive the rules.
No, I really
to
don't.
respond.
I know you've submitted, I believe the cost was what, over $100,000?
It was about $100,000 for the proposal for the section of road, and then there was an additional portion that actually falls under the state's responsibility, I believe. And then I got a quote on that, and the total for both sections of the road was approximately $140,000.
Okay. Is that a private road? Was it a private road or part of the development, if I remember correctly?
The road, the section that I'm talking about where my house is an orphaned road.
Okay.
I've reached out to the state. They said it's an orphaned road. They wouldn't accept it. The top section, I was told by the neighborhood association, was actually the state's responsibility. I've yet to be able to talk to anybody at the state to confirm that, but the top section, I was told and this was the neighborhood association president who told me this, who'd done the research, and he said that section was actually the responsibility of the state. It's essential services in the winter really are virtually impossible. Mail trucks can't get down the road. Emergency vehicles can't get down the road, and even the residents struggle at times to where they're stuck, or they have to park their car somewhere else and have to walk to get home. So.
Now,
Just to be clear,
sorry.
let me move the suspend the rules so that we can have
Okay.
back and forth discussion.
Second.
Okay.
Proper move in second previously, thank you.
Okay,
ahead.
go ahead.
As I recall, and it's a little foggy now, if the road were fixed, was there a plan going forward to maintain it, or is this something that if fixed 5 years down the line, it's going to be an issue again?
No, the plan going forward is if we can get the road fixed, everybody will join and be part of the neighborhood association and pay dues to be able to maintain the road, treat the road with snow removal in the winter. And as it stands right now, they told us, don't even pay the dues because there's nothing we can do for you, which I understand. I assisted them whenever they were getting bids to do snow removal. And when I was riding them in the truck with the gentleman showing him the neighborhood, he goes, I can't do that. He goes, I can't even touch this. It'll destroy his equipment because he can't see how bad it is underneath the snow and the ice. And part of the issue is because the water just sits in there and freezes, and then the road freezes over. And when the temperatures aren't coming up, the road just stays bad. I've gotten to the point where I've not just tried to treat it myself, I've tried to take a blowtorch out there to try to get some of the ice melted. I mean, very rudimentary stuff I'm trying to do just to make it so we, some of us can get in and out of our driveways and be able to get on the road without wrecking our vehicles because we're sliding on ice.
And you said the project is about 140, and again, it is foggy because we have, and I appreciate your persistence because we've even visited the site and we've had a number of conversations, and we want to help. This is all part of our Orphan Road program where we put aside a certain amount every year for these type of projects. The problem with your project is the significance of the value plus the low quantity of the people that it would serve. So we've been struggling with that, and we've been struggling with trying to maybe compartmentalize the work where a certain part was done one year and a certain part was done another. So we need to finish up with our due diligence and kind of get back to that conversation. But what was the local commitment that you already have for this project?
I was able to get the residents to commit $1,000 per property, and then there's an apartment building that sits on that road too. And at the time, they'd agreed to commit somewhere in the $3,500 to $5,000 range. They said, if you get it done, then we'll. But I don't know if that commitment will still be available from them because I know that that building has gone up for sale. My understanding is either it has been sold or or it's under some sort of contingent offer. And if that's the case, the individuals that agreed to commit money at that point, I'm sure they won't still commit money on something that they're about to unload and sell.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the new people would be. Maybe they would be open to the idea, but I don't know. One thing that I'll say is while there's not a high number of residences on the street, the traffic that the street, it's been reduced as the roads continue to deteriorate, but the road did see a lot of traffic because of the streets surrounding it in the neighborhood where there's a high number of residences. And I know, and some of the road, I watched it with my own eyes. There was a couple of Habitat for Humanity projects, it's wonderful, but the heavy equipment that was coming down that road aided in some of the deterioration. And they never came back. And I talked to one person down there. They said, "Oh, well, they're going to fix everything when they're done," and nobody ever came back and fixed anything. And I don't think that was anything intentional. It's probably just an oversight, But it was something great for who they helped, but we also suffered as a result.
Okay. So as a percent or as a whole, just a wag as far as what your commitment is to that $140,000 number. Your estimate of yeah. What was your?
I think I could get about $12,000
Okay.
from people I've talked to. There's one resident who just flat out said no. He's the last house on the street, and he was just kind of ornery when I was trying to be super nice. And he's just an older fella, kind of ornery, and he said nope. I'm like, okay, and just kind of left him be. But everybody else on the street that I talked to committed. And there's one property I've not been able to make contact with the owner yet. It's a rental, but I'd be shocked if they wouldn't as well. And again, if I can figure out what exactly is happening with these apartments, I'm not going to hesitate to reach out.
Yeah.
But they may, the new owners may not be willing to do something.
Okay. Well, I certainly appreciate your persistence, and I'm sure your neighbors do. And again, we need to give you a final decision or or some plan as far as if we can help you, how we could do that. So it's on us to get back to you, maybe come out and visit your site and sit down or have a work session with you to kind of figure out where we can go from here.
We probably need to contact the DOH about the upper section if it's indeed a state
Yeah,
road.
if you can get them to take a chunk of that, then that's
And it
also a
brings it way
possibility.
down.
Yeah.
And the DOH has been part of our Orthon Road process. Everything we do, we've brought them in and asked them for an opinion and asked for help if possible. So that's still an avenue that we haven't even had open those conversations with yet. So we'll certainly do that.
Anything I can do to help the process.
Okay, thank you, Derek. I
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Derek.
Thank you, Mr.
Thanks,
Chairman.
guys.
There's someone else who'd like to speak. Come on down.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Heshan Kohana. I'm the neighbor to Derek Jackson on 794 Alpine Street. I'm bringing up the same concerns that he had. I work for Hope Gas, and I know the vehicles that we have, they will have a really hard time, passing through those roads as well in an emergency. So I think it would be very beneficial for everybody to have those, that road, fixed up. I know sometimes, the roads are so bad. Sometimes when we take down, when we come down, like my wife would get like a migraine, just because it wobbles around so much. So it can be, problematic for a lot of people. Apart from that, I was just looking through, Google Maps just to kind of see, if there's any other roads that are just as bad. But honestly, we are just 1.25 miles away from, Mountaineer Stadium, and nobody around that area has as bad road as we do. So I think it's something that, I would really appreciate if you guys can, help us out here. I mean, like Mr. Derek said, we're willing to give what we can and, help you guys in, any other way we, to support you guys. But I really appreciate some concern regarding that matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak?
Good morning, Commissioners. Jamie Summerlin, 209 Kingwood. Just wanted to stop by. It's been a couple of weeks since we held the event. I wasn't able to make the last meeting, but to say thank you for your support of the West Virginia Birthday Party Main Street Morgantown event, and I'm excited to see them here today in their presentation. Didn't even know they were actually going to be here. But I wanted to take the time to recognize the support that helped make it happen, with about 2,500 people coming downtown throughout the afternoon to celebrate the 160th birthday of the great state of West Virginia. First, thank the Commission for the use of the Courthouse Square, Commissioner Bloom for representing the commissioners that day. Of course, we couldn't have done it without our sponsors, March Weston, Huntington Bank, Citizens Bank, 123 Pleasant Street, Mountaineer Home Medical, Greater Morgantown Rentals, Guide on Creative, and of course the cake cutting with the commissioner, mayor, and all those that participated, including Delegate Hanson and representing WVU, Ron Justice. Thankful for the team that came together, including Mark Downs, LJ Giuliani, Grace Hutchins and myself working together along with the MEAF, the Morgantown Event Advancement Fund, handled by Visit Mountaineer Country CVB, and the City of Morgantown for their support. It was truly a great day. The weather held off. The kids had a great time. It was great to see everybody coming out, and with all the other events going on downtown that day, it was an opportunity to showcase the best of what we have here in the city, and really take the opportunity to celebrate West Virginia. In addition, on another note, speaking of the roads, roads coming into town, if we're going to ride that wave this morning, I'd like to see DOH get a solution towards making the gateway into Morgantown through Greenmont a better entrance into the city, so that when we do have people coming in, it doesn't give them migraines as they travel into downtown Morgantown. I've actually driven on some orphan roads in Morgantown and around the area that are in better shape than that area coming in on Brockway, and I know that you continue to have conversations with them. I know they've talked about a plan to correct that stretch of road from Saberton into downtown. I just want to keep it top of mind. It's top of everyone's mind that travels into Morgantown through that area every time they travel on it, and I certainly love to see a continued push through your meetings with DOH to correct that, so that when we do put on events downtown and we bring people into downtown Morgantown, they aren't thinking of that whenever they arrive at the event, that they actually have a nice drive into downtown and can enjoy the experience as they're here, so that we're welcoming our visitors, especially as we get into the fall with the students coming back and those coming in for football games and all the other activities we have. So with that, again, thank you for your time and have a great day.
Thanks, Jim.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? Seeing none, we will close comments from the public. We now have a presentation from Main Street Morgantown. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
See if I can get technology working today. Thank you to your staff for helping with the technology today. Good morning. My name is Amy Loomis. I am the VP of Revitalization Services for the Morgantown Area Partnership and the Executive Director for Main Street Morgantown. I'm here this morning to give you your annual partner update for Main Street Morgantown, the organization. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to the revitalization of our commercial historic core. I have here with me today Russ Rogerson from the partnership, President and CEO, as well as Mark Downs, our current board chair. Our mission, in the fall of last year, our mission was updated and reassessed. Our mission is to develop and promote vibrant and prosperous downtown and work districts. To that end, we lead a safe and welcoming and attractive district, growth and prosperity among current and prospective businesses, thoughtful revitalization, preservation and property investment, and collaborative partnering to achieve a thriving business community. Our organization is nearly 40 years old, and we are still sticking to some of the core values that help drive downtown investment and revitalization as a Main Street accredited program. As a Main Street accredited program, we track our reinvestment statistics for the year, and we have both public and private investment figures, public investment of about $500,000 and private investment of over $2 million, as well as our own investment from our organization of district advertising at $20K a year, a mural initiative at $15K, a downtown market study at $9K, and over 500 volunteer hours. You may have seen some of our murals come up from our recent mural initiative with funds from the YCF and Arts Impact Grant. As well as you may have seen or felt the effects of our district advertising. We spend $20K a year in it, and about half of that is to drive people downtown for holiday shopping to gather, shop, and dine. We also were able to attract a $9K in a market study that was put together by, in partnership with the West Virginia Main Street Development Office, and that market study helps us pivot towards developers and businesses, and making sure that the right size businesses and the right types of businesses know that they're wanted in our downtown and work footprint. We also help steward a bunch of recurring events, including arts walks, vintage walks, cruise-ins, and haunted walks. We help with the 4th of July celebration, the 10th anniversary of the marketplace. We had a ribbon cutting for that. The 5th annual Hops on the Mon, which shut down the street. Trick or Treat, Small Business Saturday, and we also help facilitate the success of other collaborating events, including the MLK Day celebration, the Handmade Market, the International Street Festival, and the parade, and more. Last year ended with a transformational year with a new management by the Morgantown Area Partnership. The partnership gives the organization professional management, staffing stability, a renewed strategic foundation, and actionable and measurable work plans. And a big focus this year is safety. We're also working to restore and cultivate our meaningful partnerships, and by us maintaining our National Main Street accreditation, we also attract up to $15K of local investment annually. The arrangement has had benefits and a return, which has enhanced the capacity of the organization, provided cost efficiencies, and enhanced our connectivity among the partners, as well as given the organization greater visibility, a renewed confidence in the organization, and greater power with partnerships. Our budget has also increased this year over the previous year with distinct line item spends in a Southern High Street districting study, identity and branding, professional planning, as well as marketing and promotions to help do the storytelling and promotion of the district. Our annual plans are guided by the 4-point National Main Street model, with Economic Vitality Committee, the Design Committee, which focuses on the built environment and the investments, organization, which steers leadership and organizational capacity, and promotion, which drives the storytelling. And our work plans are very action-oriented. Most people, when they think about downtown and the problems they want to solve, a lot of them fall under the Economic Vitality Committee, and they've come up with a strategic work plan that is a three-legged stool. One, to advance safety collaboratively through strategy, implementation, engagement, and coordination amongst our partners. To develop business recruitment tools with property inventories, compiling resources, and providing business assistance to help make it easier to start a business and to stay in our footprint. And then the districting study, which includes stakeholder visioning and character area planning, and consultant recommendations to help pivot the different vibe or energy that is happening south of Walnut on South High Street, and to connect to the river. The Design Committee, again, is focused on the built environment, so their plans for the year include engagement in public realm considerations as well as the city's master plan. So we're very much attuned to getting dialed into all those processes and participating as a stakeholder for the downtown district as well as for our merchant stakeholders and property owner stakeholders. We'll also assess and refine programs in wayfinding, the Arts Walk, making those bigger and better, public art and murals, trash services and storage, and then collaborations with the WVU students, as well as historic buildings, making sure that we know what we have and how to promote them, and then incentivize property investment through resource kits and making sure that we're involved in the facade grant assessment with the city. The organization, again, this year is a big one for partnerships and making sure that we're cultivating strong ones, meaningful ones, and having meaningful communication and collaboration. But the power with approach is easier said than done, so we know we'll have to lay meaningful groundwork there to make sure that we're all working together. Our organization committee is also focused on its fundraising strategy and then to reimagining and developing our supporter program, which is formerly known as our membership program, but a strong bed of stakeholders is what gives us wings. And the promotions committee, as I mentioned, is focused on storytelling. Storytelling is about positive narratives, positive perceptions for the district. Every time we have events, the district is vibrant and alive, and it is very gratifying to see families come down on sunny days and really enjoy the district. We really envision downtown as a all-season place. as a day or night place that is safe and welcoming, and we really want to not only make sure that we facilitate that, but also make sure that we have the storytelling that supports those positive narratives. So we'll be refreshing our branding, developing our marketing plan, communicating strategically, continuing to assess and deliver a vibrant events calendar, and then to provide stakeholder programming that helps merchants and property owners meet and talk to each other and grow together. And here are some of our organizationally led plans and initiatives this year. Under Economic Vitality, we are working on a trash storage pilot on Walnut Street, and we're vetting that idea with the city, and actually that is being led by Ricky Yeager. And when they're able to implement a solution there, it's going to change the look of Walnut Street and those toters that get rummaged through and are along Walnut Street. We're also developing a recurring litter pickup volunteer program, so we can have volunteer pickups every month. And we are also continuing to work on our safety plan with a safety index development to bridge the gap between safety data and its reality, as well as safety data and the audience perception. Under business recruitment, you may have seen a vacant storefront initiative pilot at the Brock Reed and Wade building. We are activating those empty storefronts by cleaning them up, adding lights, imagery, and just making them seem like hopeful places that an entrepreneur may want to put their business in. And we're working with the Morgantown Area Partnership for a property inventory and database to, again, clean the pipeline. If you want to start a bakery or a bookstore business, making it easier to find the product, which is those vacant properties that are available for commercial lease. And as I mentioned, there's the South Downtown districting. I also mentioned that there are our storytelling and promotion plans. And then there are several other activities that we are engaged in that are led by others, but we're at their tables collaborating, and several of them are for the built environment and the way people move through town and the way people experience their town. Our recipe for success is our renewed strategic foundation, working to bridge those critical communication gaps and to engage stakeholders in consensus and solution finding. The Morgantown Area Partnership adjacency enhances our success, and we plan to engage meaningfully through formal and informal channels where appropriate with our funders, our partners, and our neighbors to bring vibrancy to the district. So what can you do as our annual partner investor? Participate with us and allow us to engage you as our key partner, and we want to prove to you your return on investment always, and answer the phone when we call, and we promise to be nice. Watch us grow. This is one of our top performing Facebook posts of the whole year, and that was the conclusion of our mural initiative for the year. So we're just working to make it a beautiful, hopeful place that people want to gather, shop, and dine in. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you all have any questions or comments?
No, other than thank you. It's very impressive. I really appreciate your organization also partnering with the partnership so that you can help your organization move farther. And Amy, I think your leadership is an example of that. So thank you very much, and get a drink of water.
Thank you.
I also personally want to thank Mark Downs. I see he's here, president of Main Street. We had a problem with some carpeting and garbage that was there for at least 4 to 5 days. Both Danielle Trumbull and I tried to get the city to clean it up, and we didn't know what to do. Talked to you, Amy. We called Mark, and Mark, you came down with a truck and picked it up. And I really appreciate it. And I think that's the contribution that it shows that you have a commitment personally. And I think it was important, and publicly I want to say thank you, because it was something that needed to be done, and you just did it and didn't need any governmental interference in that. So
thank you, Tom, for you know, being being there and on the street and the person that called. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gotten done. I wouldn't have shown up at all. So thank you. I just wanted to say that you know, from the board's perspective, this transition has been fantastic. It was unanimously adopted in December, and we've come a long way. I think Main Street's really turning into a transformational organization that's going to make a big impact in our community. So thank you for your support. We appreciate everything you all do and all the support that you've given us, and we look forward to working together going forward.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you
I really
very much.
appreciate
Thanks.
your leadership of Main Street Morgantown. And again, Russ, Amy, I appreciate your working together and bringing the Main Street Morgantown on board so that you can help them grow even more. So looking forward to bigger and better things.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you. Colleen Kuhn, grants, what millions of dollars of grants are we going to get today?
Not millions. I have the VOCA grant application that I need for you to sign. We're requesting $125,730. And in addition to that, I will also need your signature for the standard conditions and assurances and the federal standard conditions and assurances.
Okay.
Move to approve the president signing the grant documents as presented.
Second?
Pop moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Correspondence, letter from the Public Service Commission of West Virginia regarding the appointment of H.R. Scott to the Mon County Solid Waste Authority. Really
That's pretty much it,
self-explanatory.
yeah.
Do
Okay.
we need to approve that? Or it's their
It's their
It's their
appointment.
appointment.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
appointment acknowledged.
Okay. Letter of thanks from Mountaineer Area Robotics. Again, self-explanatory unless somebody wants to comment. Letter from Patrick Morris, the Attorney General, regarding settlement with TIVA. Is there anything that we need to know, or is it just a
I think it's just the latest in the
settlement?
opioid settlements that
Yeah.
gets thrown into the pot that we're working on.
Yeah, there's no election and release form at this time for you to sign. Hopefully that will be coming later.
Right. Okay. Notice from Spire Development notifying the County Commission that White Oak Landing has applied for the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program.
That's about as much as my knowledge on it. That's just a letter
Yeah.
notifying you.
Okay.
I assume that they're required to report that to you.
Notice from Spire Development notifying the County Commission that White Oak Manor has applied for the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program.
And both of these properties are
Yeah.
in the vicinity of 1372 Van Borst Road.
Okay. Notice from WODA Cooper Companies notifying the County Commission that Mallard Green has applied for a low-income housing credit program. And also, I'll put them together, WODA Cooper Companies notifying the County Commission that Mallard Green 2 has applied for the low-income housing tax credit areas. Where are they
It
located?
says this is located on West Run Road next to the Suites at West Park at 999 West Run Road.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other correspondence?
I do not.
I do have one piece of correspondence, and I asked Mr. Downs to hold on because he had sent us an email, which I forwarded on to you, Renetta, that we'll talk about on Friday in staff reports. But again, Mark had sent us an email regarding a project that they're doing to try to create a whitewater park on Deckers Creek. So I've asked her to put that on our staff reports for Friday, so we'll talk about it. So I just want to acknowledge that we did get your email, and we'll certainly take a look at that and get back to you, okay? All right, thanks, Mark.
Thank you. No other correspondence, no unfinished business. New business to consider for approval requisition number 16 for Series 2021B Harmony Grove Phase 1 Project Fund.
The requisition is for $188,798.47. Those funds will be paid out to March Weston, Adrian Enterprises, the Thrasher Group, and Mill Group. I think that's supposed to be Mills Group.
Move to approve requisition number 16 for the Series 2021B Harmony Grove Phase 1 Project Fund as
Second.
presented.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Do we have any other new business?
No.
Okay. Reports from elected officials and department supervisors. Sean.
Okay.
No.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. See, that, since you're here. Okay.
Good morning. Morning. Hey, I just wanted to
I already skipped
bring
it,
to
yeah.
the attention, it's getting ready to get that time of year for July. We're mailing out all of our assessment returns and the information, but also we're kicking off with our satellite, as we do every year with our satellites. This year we have 22. We'll kick off next Wednesday at Morgantown High from 10 to 4. And again, a thank you to Mecca and Jimmy Smith for allowing us to use their command post for that site, and also for the one up at Mountaineer Mall, which comes in July 15th. Those two right there. It's valuable to have that because of the air conditioning, and if we need to pull anything else from the inside, and we access their internet also through that. So Jimmy's been very helpful with us the last few years doing that since the COVID thing. So I wanted to give him a little shout out there for that. And also to my administrative professional, Miss Vicki McCord, who coordinates all this stuff with the satellites, takes a lot of time, and for those satellites who continue to allow us to come back and process this, which has been, it grows each year, and we encourage the public more and more to access this. And again, we're doing drive-ups, so we haven't stayed away from that since COVID, and it's been very beneficial. Our online filing for personal property assessments kicks off July 1, so people can get online and do that, and we're encouraging them to continue to access that as much as possible, and paying for their dogs or the farmers or the sheep and goats online too. So those are valuable things to us. We'll give this copy of this to Ben for that. And also one last thing, yesterday for myself and Mr. Adrian, we coordinated a site visit for Mountaintop for us to come in and look at the completion of where they're at right now. And I was able to get Jason Lee Hoyce from the state tax department, who Jason does all the industrials. So he came up for the first time. So what an impressive venue they have there, and continue to grow. But the one to toss that out there was impressive for that, and for the staff I was able to take with me. So it was a good day for that. That's all I have. Any questions for me?
No, thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you very much. Any other elected officials would like to speak? Okay. Seeing none, now we'll go to county commissioners. Sean, welcome back.
Well, I have a short report because I was on vacation last week. Good to be back. Today's a regular day. Friday we have staff reports and then my broadband update. And Mr. Jackson left, but I do want to thank Mr. Jackson for his persistence in having discussions with us and trying to work with us as far as however we can help him. Obviously, the county doesn't have an open, unlimited source of resources for these type of projects, but we want to try to think outside the box and figure out ways where we may be able to help. The whole purpose for us developing this process, well, one of the main drivers of developing this process is because of the lack of any sort of regulations or anything in areas where these apartments and complexes are built, and then years later you have the future owners that are saddled with the what's left of improper development to begin with. So I want to point out that we still need to take up that mantle, have that discussion. We've been ready. I think we're ready to have that, and I think we talked a couple weeks ago about getting an update from our planner as far as where that subdivision regulations process is, and we need to move forward on that, having the discussion. So just wanted to point that out. That's all I have.
I just want to thank Amy and Russ and Mark Downs on the presentation for Main Street. I'll be joining that board and start participating in their meetings going forward. Just awaiting final, I guess, admission from their board, but I have submitted the application as per their request to participate in that board, so I look forward to that. Participated last week in the open house at Hazel's House of Hope. It was very well attended and very well received. It's important to get the message out what Hazel's House of Hope is doing. I sit on the board for MCR, which owns the building and facilitates the space for all those programs, and there's been a lot of nice media attention with the paper and with Dave Wilson talking about it on the radio that shows that building is more one of treatment and recovery than a homeless campus, which is not what its intention was, nor is what it is, other than the Bartlett House having that component. So it's doing a lot of good things, and with a couple of new signees, new tenants, it's going to continue in that vein forward. So I appreciate the board putting on that, or that group putting on that open house. And after last week's meeting, I drove out to see the progress of our new 911 building, and it's coming along. It's pretty impressive what's going on up there. So it's going to be a great, secure facility, and continue to provide that valuable service for our county. That's all I've got.
Thank you. I only have one issue, more of an update of West Virginia First Foundation, the meeting, and the last couple days I've been driving both Vanetta McClure and Colleen Kuhn crazy because, as you are aware, they...
Just the last couple days.
Because it was a day that ended in Y?
Yes, it ended in Y. Trying to get what the state has requested us do in such a short period of time, and I want to congratulate both of them. At the end of yesterday, the letter was written to 63 cities and 13 counties. So it's 76 actual governmental bodies that are involved in this 13-county region, Region 4. We will be having the meeting at 10 o'clock at Mon County Center on July 13th at 10 o'clock, and that is where we will be, each person who represents a city or county can make a recommendation to then vote on at that time. We will vote on only one person out of that nomination group to represent Region 4. We are still going through the particulars, and Renetta and I stayed in a 2-hour meeting, and we're probably going to have another meeting just to verify that we are following all the correct procedures to do it correctly. It is $1 billion worth. So the appointment is very important, and to represent our region. In the discussions, we then learned that they want us to have a regional board, which we're trying to figure out how we're going to do that. So we're trying to get all this information. But we are moving forward. Today, it is in the mail for all the letters went out, and I am individually handing to the cities in Mon County, so they get it today. So they will receive it today and move forward. And thanks to Latina being here, Granville was the first city that has received the letter. So I just wanted you to know with an update. And yes, they are letters, not emails, because the Municipal League could not give us the emails. They gave us the addresses. So that's why we are sending them by letters. So that is just an update.
Just to clarify, the
Sure.
date of your meeting, your initial meeting of this group is?
July 13th.
July 13th.
And we have to make a decision by that day.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to add?
The commission is
Oh.
accepting applications,
Yes.
or resumes, not applications, because we have no application. Resumes for individuals that would be interested in being nominated by this commission. Each municipality can also nominate.
Right,
So those resumes are due by July 5th,
correct. At
which is
10
next Wednesday. And then you all will need to deliberate about who it is that you want to be your nominee, which
Correct.
would then be put forth by
Yeah.
Commissioner Bloom at the meeting on July
Correct,
13th.
which is the same thing that every one of these entities have to do.
Correct.
Yeah,
So
sure.
they have to realize that
Right.
they need, a short window
It is.
for them to, one, figure out a
Take one.
representative.
Yes.
Two, figure out what that body wants to tell that representative, the nomination that body wants their representative to put forward at that meeting.
Correct.
Can the same nominee come from different municipalities?
Yeah,
Yes.
there's no restrictions that says that it can't.
Right.
So if there's someone out there that has a strong, really strong desire, it would behoove them probably to send their
2 other cities.
application to each of the
Yes.
13 municipalities that are within our
But
region.
13
There are
counties.
13 counties within our region.
No,
or-
well,
I would, yeah. It
your
would make more sense.
nominee has to, I think, live within the county that.
Yes.
Well, no,
Right.
I mean within our section.
Yeah,
The
so they could
municipality-
send it out to the
county-
5
One county and the 5
municipalities.
municipalities.
Yes.
It would behoove them to approach all
Exactly.
5
That's
municipalities
correct.
as well as the county. And then if they win them over, it would give them a lot more.
That's correct, assuming that the municipality would be accepting resumes like we are.
Right.
Right. Right.
And that's what we do not know. But I do appreciate it, and I apologize, being a teacher, when you run a conference, you think of all worst-case scenarios, and I've been throwing them every worst-case scenario that could happen, and they're trying to calm me down and say, no, it'll be fine, but we want to do it correctly, and it's going to be an excellent meeting, and we'll have our nominee by the end of the day. So with that.
The end of that day, not the end of today.
Yeah, end of that
Okay.
day, July
Just
13th. Okay, I have to
making
be
sure.
careful.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We be gone.